As a kid, I used to be terrified of the monster under my bed. It all started when I was 4 years old. My parents got a divorce and my dad married one of his co-workers, which made me closer to my mom. We would always watch these cheesy horror movies together like The Silence of the Lambs and stuff. And then, after those movies, she would always tell me that there was no such thing as monsters under the bed, just to comfort me. The one night I woke up to go to the bathroom, and as I was walking back to my room, I could have swore I heard footsteps in my room. I stopped and listened, and then I heard it again. Someone or something was definitely in my room. I screamed for my mom, and she came running in. She turned on the light and looked under the bed and said, "See? There's nothing there," but I insisted that there was something there. I remember shoving my face in my pillow and just crying until my mom stayed in my room with me until I fell back asleep. That was the first time I ever saw or heard this monster. It wasn't until a few months later that it actually started to come out of the closet more frequently. Sometimes I would hear it scratching at the closet door, or sometimes I would hear it growl really loudly. Other times I would see a big, hairy arm slowly open up the closet door, or I would see its huge, clawed hand on the other side of the door handle. Well, one day, when my mom went out to get groceries, this monster decided to come out of the closet while I was watching TV. I was so scared. I tried to scream for help, but my voice wouldn't come out. I could only watch as this monster approached me while it was growling. Then it lunged at me and I woke up to my mom shaking me. Apparently I had been screaming in my sleep. After that day, my mom was a bit more cautious and would check under the bed and in the closet before she tucked me in for bed. One night a few weeks later, we were watching TV in silence when suddenly the lights flickered and went out. I don't remember if my mom was in the room with me at this point, but all I remember is that the door to my closet slowly opened up and that same big hairy arm reached out and grabbed me by the collar of my shirt. I screamed and struggled as this monster pulled me towards the closet, then it shut the door behind me. I remember trying to push the door open as I screamed for help, but the door wouldn't budge. I started to panic as I realized that this monster had finally gotten me. Just as I was about to give up, the doorknob turned and the door opened. I crawled out and ran to my mom, who was standing there with a baseball bat. She had a terrified look on her face. "And Mom," I said, "It's coming out of the closet again." But before I could finish my sentence, this monster came barreling out of the closet. It was big and hairy and had sharp claws and teeth. I could only watch in horror as it attacked my mom. I wanted to help, but I couldn't. All I remember is that last night before everything went black, I heard my mom scream, "Run, honey, run."